Max, let's get right to it. Last night was just fun to watch if you are a Celtics fan. For a half, three, and into the third quarter, it wasn't fun, but then, wow.
Well, you think about this series, and so far it's been fun and excitement. Jaylen Brown, the shot he had in game one, that shot's going to go down as one of the great shots in Celtic history and should go in basketball history, to tie that basketball game. Then to see what they did last night, rebounded, came back in that game over and over again, and then Jason Tatum just lit fire. He was incredible. Everybody on that team really played well, and now is the only question that you look at, you didn't really have any bench scoring. Those five guys scored like 104 points out of the 108, only 4 points off the bench. Celtics have to really address that.
All right, so when you look at last night, part of it was, imploring the comeback. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on what Joe Mazzulla has done in year number 2, and especially in a game like last night?
Wait a minute, Bobby. Huh? We're about to say that Joe Mazzulla can coach around here?
Yeah.
Are we really?
Other coaches,
He's done an excellent job of pushing buttons, getting guys in the right place, understanding the nuances of his team, and really making sure that they get to these wins. He's been brilliant. The call that he had was absolutely unreal to get the ball to Brown. Great call out of that play, and the way he's defended, this has been really good.
And he seems to have the buttons to push with the players, and the players all said he was tremendous. He was our driving force in that game and that comeback last night. A lot of respect there now for this guy who came in last year in a tough situation for Ime Udoka.
Yeah, and coming off of that, and having to live in somebody else's shadow and then stepping out of that and becoming your own person, he's done an excellent job of being who he is. He has understood how his team and the buttons he's pushed. And you think about it in particular with Jrue Holiday. Those guys, they coexist. I'm not sure if I've seen one without the other one, because that seems like the mannerism and the style that this team has taken over.
And Jrue Holiday has been amazing.
Spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, you see the difference right now between this team and last year is Marcus, who we all love, and Holiday, because Porzingis has had to sit the whole postseason. So they're doing it with kind of the same cast, except the addition of Holiday.
Yeah, Holiday has really opened my eyes up to another level to watch him play, control the initial point of attack, brilliant on the defensive end.
Yeah, how about that one play?
Yeah, become a facilitator. He was right in the mix. He gets a three-point play, and then he comes back and gets the steal that solidifies the game. He has been, and I love Marcus. We all love Marcus. But boy, if Brad Stevens had to get one mark, that would be the one right now for making that particular deal and getting Holiday to come in to replace Marcus Smart.
From a basketball standpoint, what did you love about the Holiday steal?
Just tenacity, his anticipation. What I love about the game right now is early in the year, that would have been a foul. He would have bumped the guy, that would have been a foul. The game has changed from the time the All-Star game, when the players scored 400 points in the All-Star game. They have eliminated all the touch fouls, all that stuff. And I talked to the officials probably about 2 weeks ago, and I thanked them for bringing the game back to the way it was in the 80s.
What'd they say?
Because they were like, yeah, we have. So that alone was a whole nother thing that happened. But yeah, the way he made that steal, bumped him a little bit, but just got over in front of him and made that steal was brilliant.
Jason Tatum, he's been under criticism a lot. Just from your perspective, what you've seen, to me, play maybe his best overall game in Game 3 last night.
Unfair criticism applied to him, but I played with this guy named, Bird was his name.
Yeah.
1981, Bird did not have the best stats in a game during his first championship. But what he did, he put his mark and his imprint, his greatness on the game by touching with all these other things. Assists, rebounding the basketball, passing, being a facilitator. In last night's game, I think Jason Tatum had a stat line that nobody's ever done for 30-something points and then no turnovers in the game. So he stepped up to it. And I talked to him before the game. I said, it's time for you to be him again. And he was him again in that game.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to watch. And also, 37-year-old fountain of youth, Mr. Al Horford.
I don't know where he gets the energy. I talked to Al, and it seems like when he gets tired, he gets better. And, without him, where would you be now? he is taking over the role of Porzingis. You didn't bring him in. I was thinking like, look, I can play off of Porzingis. I'm going to play these, maybe get 25, 30 minutes. But you got Al close to 40 minutes a game now and pushing the tempo and acting like he's a young reindeer out there. I love it.
Final thoughts here, Porzingis, if they can pull it off and pull the sweep off, they get another, 9 days, 10 days, whatever, before they play again. How much does that help this Celtics team? And I think people forget that you're not just going to have a player, you're going to have an impact player returning in Porzingis.
You have an impact player in Porzingis coming back. The only fear I have out of that is that the speed of the game. If you've been away from the game for a month, you need a game or two to kind of get back to the speed and the pace and the physicality of the game. I would love for him to come back for a game, but if the Celtics end it now and he's able to get 10 days rest or whatever days rest, maybe he comes back in a certain position and the Celtics start over anew.
All right, lastly, Max, let's wrap it up with teams that go down 0-3 in a best-of-7 NBA series or 0-154. So we established that. How do they end it in Game 4?
They end it by controlling the initial point of attack, playing the same way, not giving up a bunch of second chance opportunities, and just keeping their nose to the grindstone. Jaylen Brown has been exceptional. Holiday, you got White, who right now who's played great defense, had 4 block shots in the game the other day. So that starting 5 has really done well. They have to have a contribution off the bench. Sam Hauser, who had a great year, but in the playoffs, in these last couple of playoffs, he has not been good. He needs to step up and shoot the ball better. Peyton Pritchard.
We were talking about players that are hated in Boston. He can't get it off his mind. Hey, let's talk about James Worthy and his contribution tomorrow night.
Don't make me throw up here in a minute. Peyton Pritchard has been really good too. Controlling the initial point of attack, being aggressive. I like that. I think that you're going to just have to play the same kind of game here in Indiana. And a lot of times what happens with a team that's down 3-1, 3-0, especially playing home, the first half, they play really well. But in the second half, psychologically what happens, in your mind is like, why are we going back to Boston?
Playing reservations, vacation, what island am I going
to? I'm done with this. So I think that the Celtics win this basketball game if they come out, and especially if they dominate early in this basketball game.
Thanks, Bill Lembeer, for taking a few minutes.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Isaiah.